Hey guys, thank you so much for joining. Hope he doesn't wake up. We have a little visitor today. He was supposed to be napping in the crib while I was doing this, but he had other plans, so this is where we're at. But today I'm going to talk about really gassy babies, which my little child is one of them. Which if you're a mom or you're a soon-to-be mom, you will come to realize that most babies have a lot of gas, so it can be very normal, and that's what I learned from my pediatrician and from other mom friends. So just wanted to share some tips that helped us with his gassy belly. But before you do anything, make sure you always talk to your pediatrician first because they are the experts. I just wanted to share some of the things that helped us. So I would say probably for us, it was like 6 or 7 weeks of dealing with gas, which seems like an eternity, but like also kind of a blur right now, just because you're like sleep deprived and everything. But I will say it has gotten so much better. I can't remember the last time we had to give him the gas drops, which I'll talk about later. But yeah, so those first 6 weeks, I feel like I called my pediatrician like every day, or not every day, every week, just making sure like this is normal. And she reassured me that if you think about it, babies, they've never had breast milk before. They've never had formula. They're not even used to inhaling the air around you. So that can cause gas bubbles. And so their little immature digestive systems are just getting used to, dealing with all of that. So that made me feel better, but also it was still extremely frustrating because his gas was waking him up a lot in the night. It was keeping him from napping, and he was just overall like pretty fussy. So a couple of things. First off, like I said, it is pretty normal, but there can be some things that are going on that could be causing the gas. For example, I eat a lot of vegetables, and so one of my favorite places to eat is Tropical Grill. It's a local place, and so after we had him, one of our friends brought us a meal from there, and I got rice and vegetables and black beans, and I loved it, and my digestive system is used to it and can handle it. But this little guy, it was such a rough night. Like, I felt so bad because I knew that it was probably the black beans or the broccoli that I had. And I just felt so horrible because I knew that I had caused him to have this horrible gas pain. So still to this day, I have not had broccoli. I've started introducing black beans back in, and he seems to be dealing with it well. But so it could be that. It could be something you're eating. I originally thought that he may have a dairy intolerance, but that's something you definitely need to talk to your doctor about because they reassured me that they didn't think he did, because his poo-poo, like the color was the right color, and he was gaining weight correctly. So that could be something else that's going on. Another thing, it could be the formula. So one of my friends is feeding her baby formula, and they've had to change the formula like several times because her little girl was just having some sensitivities to some of them. Another thing could be either the latch, if you're breastfeeding, or I guess if you're bottle feeding as well. It could be like they're inhaling a lot of air when they're eating, so you definitely want to make sure that the latch is correct. Or if you're bottle feeding, just make sure you're tilting it so there's not a bunch of air when they're sucking. So those were just a few things that I did learn. But like I said, it could be something more serious. So just make sure you always talk to your doctor first. But those are just a couple of things that I've picked up along the way, just from our own experience and some other friends. So what we did to help with his gas was, and actually one of my really good friends, before we had him, she was like, you need to have this on deck, have a couple bottles. And I thought that was kind of like, I was like, I don't think we'll really need it. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad we had the gas drops. It's called Simethicone, or Mylicon also is the brand name. And it's just basically the medication just helps their bellies to break up the gas better so that they can release it either by burping or passing gas. So we honestly gave that to him, like, you can give it up to 12 times a day. We gave it to him like every 2 to 3 hours. Really before I would feed him, we would go ahead and give it to him because we knew he was going to have so much gas. Some people don't recommend that you do it like around the clock, but it just worked for us. But you can just do it like as a, you know, as they're having gas, you can give it to him. We just tried to stay on top of it because we knew he was going to have really bad gas. So that's one thing that really, really helped. Another thing is, and I had another mama friend tell me about this, they're called bicycle kicks. So if we, like when we knew that he didn't have to burp, we knew that he needed to pass gas, we would lay him on his back, and my husband is such a trooper. He was in charge of holding the pacifier in River's mouth, because that was really soothing to him. And then I would just start pumping his legs like that, up and down, back and forth, and doing like little rounds. And I'm telling you, it works. Like my mama friends were not lying, because he would pass so much gas, and then he felt so much relief, and he would fall asleep like that. So that was like a lifesaver. We actually didn't start doing that until like 3 or 4 weeks in, and I don't know why I didn't do it before. But yes, that was a huge game changer for us. Another thing is just making sure your baby burps after every single feed. So some babies, like my nephew, like he burps immediately, like right after he eats, you put him up, he burps. This little one right here, sometimes it takes some time. And I know like sometimes in the middle of the night, like in those early weeks, I was so tired, and I would be like trying to burp him for 20 minutes and he still hadn't burped. And I was like, all right, I'm just putting him down. And then like guaranteed 30 minutes later, he would wake up with gas pains. And of course, then I felt so bad. So I finally just started literally, like no matter how long it took, I had to get at least one little burp out. Because it ended up making it like way better in the end. I got to sleep longer if he actually burped and didn't have any pains. And then it obviously was better for him because he didn't have pain. So that was a really big thing for us. Sorry, I felt him squirming and I thought he was going to wake up, but I think we're good. So yeah, making sure you burp the baby is huge. We also found out that River had pretty bad acid reflux. So we started keeping him upright for 30 minutes every time we fed him. And that actually helped with two things. It helped with the acid reflux because the milk had time to, you know, settle. So it wasn't like burning his esophagus like when it was coming back up. And it also helped with burping, because in those 30 minutes, he always burped. So, but that's also why the first 6 weeks are kind of a blur, because I would feed him for 30 to 45 minutes at night, and then have to keep him upright for 30 minutes. And then literally, I swear I would put him down, and 30 minutes later, he was up ready to eat, because newborns eat every 2 hours and it starts from the time they start eating. So that's why I just ask for a lot of grace from my friends and family. Sorry I'm not answering your text messages or phone calls, but I'm kind of out of it. So, but yeah, those are just a couple of tips. I know it seems really obvious and like, duh, I should have known all this, but as a new mom, I just really had no idea that gas was going to be the issue that it was. So moving forward, I'll know, and I hope that it helps some of you. If you guys have liked it today, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Thank you.